That Mozzie Smith is exactly who I said he was. I don't see it. No way. No how. Watch just how he gets off the line of scrimmage. He's late. You hear what they're saying about Nolan Smith? He's got the fastest jump off the line of scrimmage, maybe of anybody in practice. That benefits you so much having that quickness. That guy has, like Micah said, he has no get off. He was getting annihilated in walkthrough. When you put the pads on, I said he was the third rounder. The Cowboys took him in the first round. I never saw it when he was at Michigan. I said the same thing, and I'll say it now. Boy, I'll tell you what, you took that dude in the first round, not a chance in hell. That guy's a first-round football player. That guy is slow as molasses, and he's either thinking too much or he just doesn't see what's in front of him. Dude, I'm telling you, those Big Ten guys, unless you come out of like Ohio State, okay, you're not good. Or it takes you 100 years to get your game going. I mean, Michigan D lineman, okay, Brandon Graham, it took 100 years for him to be a great player or a good player. Who else? I mean, you really think that place produces really great NFL defensive backs and linebackers and D linemen? Who? I don't see it. And when I watched that guy play last year, I went like this. I don't know, man. That guy looks awful slow. When you watch Nolan Smith get off the line of scrimmage, dude, he's like a bullet coming out of a gun. When you watch this guy, he looks like honey coming out of a bottle. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, his get-off is awful. Aiden Hutchinson, maybe. He's an effort guy. He looks pretty good. Not bad. Jeremiah, he looks kind of good. Okay. He does. Whew. That's right. I love that. We got a new name for Mozzie Smith. His name is Winnie the Pooh. No, I should call him Winnie the Glue. Dude, this guy's, he's slow. He looks like a turtle. You know one of the mimes? I think I'm watching like the NFL highlight reels back in the day. You know, all you need is like the music. This guy Mozzie Smith is a bust, I'm telling you. He's got it written all. I don't even look. This is why you don't say that with Jordan Davis. He's fast, he's quick, he's strong, he's big, he's powerful. Shit, my problem with him was where he was drafted, not if he's an NFL player. My problem with Mozzie Smith is if he's an NFL player. Winnie the Pooh. Mozzie the Pooh Smith. Holy piss. Is that guy, he doesn't look it, man. You know, there's certain dudes, man, you sit there and you go like this. No. No. We took Winnie the Pooh in the first round? Yeah, like 26th. What? Yeah. There's your heir apparent. There's your great defensive tackle. That's your next Randy White. Winnie the Pooh. Holy cow, man. Jesus. Mozzie Smith. He's built like he looks like a turtle. Neck small, reach is small. Guy's blowing him off the ball. If you turn him over on his shell, he's dead. Looks like a tortoise. My God almighty. Landon Dickerson and Jason Kelsey, they're going to turn that guy into a flapjack. Bang. Hey, here's where I'll use it. Hey, Jason Kelsey versus Winnie the Pooh, Mozzie Smith. Game. Yeah. Huss, you better get lower, man. This guy's getting blown off the ball. Have you ever beaten a double team? Get down, take a knee, make a pile. You like honey on that flapjack? I'd be like this. Hey, son, do me a favor before you get your back broken. Get lower. Cowboys drafted a turd. Dude, hey, again, you're going like this. Sales, how can you make that? He's slow. Nolan Smith, when you watch him, you're like, this kid is some athlete. His get-off is insane. His presence. I watch this guy, Mozzie Smith. Seriously, man, I'm waiting for Tigger to jump into the scene. Where's this guy? There he is right there. He's got his hand in a honey jar. This guy's like Winnie the Pooh running around with his fat gut out, and he's getting murdered. I don't see it. Whew. Okay? Yeah. Oh, man. Dude's a turtle. Let me move off of Honey Poo. Hey, let me move off of Honey Poo Cowboy. Holy shit, I don't see it, man. I'm telling you, go and watch some film on him, and you'll do the same thing I did. Okay, well, I'm going to pray that guy's thinking too much, and he's not slow like that, because if he's slow like that, he'll be out of the league in 2 years. That guy has no chance the way I'm looking at it. I don't see it. I thought he was a third rounder then. And when I see him now, I'm even more convinced I'm not even sure he should have went in the third round. That don't look very promising in Dallas. So you missed on your one, and you bitching with Zach Martin. May have to revamp. By the way, I'm going to go back over my bold predictions. And some of you get a little bit bent over. Love it. I'm not concerned about Damar Hamlin. Let him do what he wants. Let me say this to you, and I'll say something that none of you will say. If I were to die on a football field, and I'm only talking about me, or you get CTE, or you have any kind of issues, and all the things you have done in your life as you get older, CTE, whatever, have you ever heard a player say he wouldn't do it again? Have you ever heard him say, I wouldn't have played football again? I'm going to give you the truth. Okay? Damar Hamlin is doing what he loves. Okay? He's doing what he loves. If so be it, and God help us, something happens, he's doing what he wanted to do. It's his choice. You have no right to say anything about what a man chooses to do with his life. And if Hamlin, he understands, hey, you get hit again in the wrong way, you get hit by a bus. I don't look at it that way. I look at it like, hey, man, as far as I'm concerned, I'm like damage proof now. He could go on to play maybe 10 years. And I heard D. Gunn say, the Bills would never cut that. Well, they would cut him, but then you know what they would do? They would hire him in the organization and make him part of the family. He'll never not be a Bill. That's what good organizations do. Because the guy gave his heart and soul to something. And if you're a decent organization, you reciprocate that. You don't just let a guy walk out the building. Okay? The goodwill and the love that Bills Mafia and the NFL family gave to him, he's a Bill forever. That's right. God's plan, man. He's got one for all of us. And if he wants to be on an NFL field, dude, I feel more for Tua. I think Tua is a hit away from a disaster. And God, I hope I'm wrong. Watching him wobbling around last year was scary. And by the way, I'm not saying that one injury supersedes another. Men put their asses on the line every Sunday. In certain circumstances, dwarf another guy's circumstances, but you put your ass on the line the same. If you die on the football field, is there a greater place? No. It is your first and only love. Tom Brady passed his family in. People give their limbs to play in that sport. Most people think it's about cheerleaders and paychecks. It's not. It's more to it. Put your heart, your life, and your soul on the line every time you step on a football field. Every single time. Hope Tua has a long career. So do I. I hope he has a long, productive life. Hey, man, I'll never tell a player like Damar Hamlin, hey, maybe you shouldn't play. I have no right to say that. No one does. Unless it's your wife or your family or whomever, that maybe people you listen to, and maybe you have to have a come to Jesus conversation yourself. Okay? But if you die in a football field, I don't think there's a greater place. And you think that way when you're younger. You don't think that way when you're older. You have different times in your life when you think things out more with clarity. And that's usually when you're older and wiser. When you're younger right now, you don't think like that. You think people walk around thinking like Clark Kent when they play pro ball. They don't walk around thinking they're Clark Kent. They walk around thinking they're Superman. Most people in the world walk around like Clark Kent. You don't think like that. You don't put your ass on the line, break your bones and all that other shit. Concussions, broken hands, years of constant pain, calf injuries, ankle injuries, knee injuries, multiple surgeries. You think you do that because why? There's a paycheck and you get kissed by cheerleaders? That's stupid. There's a sacrifice. And when sacrifice for Damar Hamlin or Tua, there's a price at the end you got to pay. You don't get off scot-free in this. Everyone pays in the end. Let me see how many surgeries I've had. I broke my jaw. I've had 2 surgeries on my elbows, both of them. I've broke every finger. I've broke my left wrist. I've had 2 knee surgeries, 3 scopes. I've destroyed my calf. I broke my ankle. I broke my right foot. That's just me. You play that game, man. You give something of yourself up every single day you play. So, Damar Hamlin, good luck to you, man. I'm pulling for you. And I'm rooting for you, like I am Tua. I'm rooting for those men. Okay? I love that, Jeremiah. Pain heals, glory lasts forever. I like that. I do. I like that. Okay, I saw the depth chart. Where's Niner? Where's Niner? Trey Lance is officially the number 3 quarterback in San Francisco. Oh, my God. Oh my God. You can't have a bigger disaster draft-wise than you do in San Francisco right now. Okay? He's number 3 on the depth chart. And you gave up 3 ones for him. Being a gladiator is what sports is all about. Yeah, weapon. It's an internal battle. You don't do it for someone else. You do it because it's an internal battle with yourself. You have to love everything that you're doing. And you don't really give a shit about anybody around you. That's why family sacrifices. You don't give a shit about things around you. Girlfriends, wives, kids. You don't care about that shit. Okay? You care about it when you're older. Okay? You don't care about that. Man, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is the 3rd-team quarterback in San Francisco. Jesus criminy. Hey, Brock Purdy. I'm sorry, man. He's the 3rd-team quarterback. Hey, by the way, I'm hearing Marcus Mariota stinking the joint up for the Eagles. Better not let Jalen get hurt. I thought Mariota was going to be an upgrade, but from what I hear, he sucks. And he sucked everywhere he was. But hey, he'll be good in Philly because you guys say he will. And when he gets into a game, he'll just turn that switch on and he'll be Mariota, Oregon Duck, right? Okay. Maybe you need to go get yourself Nick Foles. Why don't you go sign Nicky Foles? If Mariota's not looking that good, why don't you sign Nick Foles? Hey, and by the way, Scott goes, Nick Foles did that. Yeah, but if Nick Foles sucks in practice, I'm going to pull the Super Bowl game film out. Oh, at least I know he's done it in a game. I'm going to, hey, Nick threw 3 picks in practice. It's all right. Why? I saw what he did against Brady. He gets a hall pass. I wouldn't be surprised if Howie pulls the plug on Mariota before week 1. Damn! Can you imagine if they signed Wentz? They brought Carson Wentz back. No chance. Who could you put back there as a quarter? Oh my God, I got it. I got it. Do you know who I think they would want quarterbacking behind Jalen Hurts? Say it with me. Come on, you pancake-eating mother you-know-whatters. Say it with me. You get to save the city if something happens for a few weeks with Jalen Hurts. Say it with me, you pancake-eating mother. Say it with me. Who would you put in there? Who would you put in there? Who would you put in there? I got just the guy, and I think he'd be great. Uh-oh, here comes Tone. Is Teddy Bridgewater available? Is he? If Teddy Bridgewater's available, that might be a better option. Is Bridgewater available? Nah, Cam. Nah. Wow. Okay. Well, wow, Teddy Bridgewater behind Jalen Hurts. Man, would that be awesome? Would that be awesome? Outside of Wentz, he may be the best quarterback on the market right now. This is a little bit out of the box here. You ready? Who's the one guy that Jalen Hurts watches film every day on? And certain people on the coaching staff have coached him. Look at Tone. Tone got it. 5573 got it. Phillip Rivers. Mac. The one guy. And by the way, the 49ers said it 3 days ago. He was going to start in the Super Bowl if somehow the 49ers beat the Eagles. Kyle Shanahan said Phillip Rivers was going to start in the Super Bowl. That they were going to bring him in and start him in the Super Bowl versus the Kansas City Chiefs. He said it personally. There's been a lot of teams that have tried to get him. Chicago tried to get him. He doesn't want to do anything like that. But because of his relationship with Nick Sirianni, both with the Chargers and in Indianapolis and with Frank, why not? Can you imagine Jalen Hurts, his favorite quarterback? He told the Mannings on that Monday night broadcast. They were both kind of shocked. The guy that he talks to every month, the guy he watches on film every week, are Phillip Rivers tapes. Would Phillip Rivers want to sit there, maybe go for an NFC championship? Do I really think he'd come out of retirement? For Nick Sirianni? You see, I thought if he was going to come out of retirement, I thought he would have did it for Frank and help the kid out in Carolina. I mean, isn't that crazy? Kyle Shanahan 2 days ago said that Phillip Rivers was going to start in February in the Super Bowl. He was going to start him in the Super Bowl if they had made it. Plus, can you imagine running off the field if you're Jalen Hurts and the guy that you are trying to emulate throwing the ball is sitting there talking to you? What'd you say? Do you imagine how much help that would be? Having a guy like Rivers and Sirianni and Johnson talking to Jalen Hurts? Wow. That would be awesome. What a classroom that would be, just sitting there listening to that. Remember, the knowledge of that position is more important sometimes than the practicing of that position. Okay? You know what's funny? Cue ball goes none. Well, then why does Jalen watch film on him every day? You get this. So people in here are looking at this and going, why would you bring Rivers in? Jalen Hurts watches game film. He said it himself every single day on Rivers throwing the ball. He watches him every day. And you got a coach in San Francisco who's going to start him February, March, April, May, June, 6 months ago. 6 months ago, Phillip Rivers was going to get a chance to start in the Super Bowl. Off topic here. The Mets just traded Verlander back to the Astros. Here's the kicker. They will owe him $70 million over the next 2 seasons and potentially additional $17 million in 15 if he invokes his option, which he will. Hey, man, what you need to get is a lighter and a trash can and put all the money in the $360 million that the Mets spent and just burn it. and just burn it. So I thought that was interesting there. Again, so Marcus Mariota's not making it happen. I like Teddy Bridgewater. That's more realistic, but that may cost you some money. Okay? Okay? So, and if, and Sirianni and him have a spectacular relationship. And I think he probably, then again, once again, and he lives like in Alabama now. So I thought he would have maybe come out of retirement to go help the kid out, Bryce Young, Carolina with Frank. But I don't know. Okay. So, okay. Let me get back to the predictions here. I want to recap them. I said that Dak's going to beat Hurts in the NFC title game. The Saints will be the number 1 seed in the NFC. The Cardinals will go 0-17. The Packers will have the second worst record in the NFL. Josh Allen will be your MVP. Hassan Reddick is going to win the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award. Justin Jefferson is going to go over 2K. This will be Belichick's final season in New England. The Jets are going to have the number 1 defense in the NFL. And Bijan Robinson, the man I wanted, will be the Offensive Rookie of the Year and the NFL NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Damn, you could have had that guy on your offense. But you took Nolan Smith instead. I don't know. That's all right. I'd rather have Bijan, but hey, you took Rashad Penny and them other dudes. We're good. Now, which one of these predictions did you least like? Dak always beats the Eagles. Always. The Saints? Here. Let me take a look at this. Here we go. Okay. New Orleans Saints schedule. Okay, here we go. Okay, hang on. The Saints play the Chiefs. Is that right? No, week 1. Aren't they playing the Lions? No. It can't be right. Does Kansas City and the Saints really open up? Here's the 2023. Oh, no, here we go. Okay, here we go. That's preseason. Here we go. The Saints will play the Titans. Win. The Saints will play Carolina. Win. The Saints will play Green Bay. Win. The Saints will play the Bucks. Win. Right there out of the gate, you're 4-0. The Saints will beat New England. You're 6-0. The Saints will play the Texans. You're 7-0. You lose to the Jags. Okay, you're 7-1. You play the Colts. You're 8-1. You play Minnesota. I'll give the Minnesota Vikings the win. You're 8-2. The Falcons, you're 9-2. The Lions, 9-3. Carolina, 10-3. The Giants, I think they're better. You're 11-3. The Rams, you're 12-3. The Bucks, you're 13-3. The Falcons, you're 14-3. How you doing? That's the easiest schedule in the league. And by the way, let me ask you this. You think you got a better defense than the New Orleans Saints? Do you really think you got a better defense than the Saints? I do not. Not with Dak throwing all those interceptions. Really, weapon? He threw 5 touchdowns against you last year. Dude, you missed the point, as every Eagle fan does. He kills you. He kills you. That Saints team came in with old Andy Dalton, the red-headed rifle. And you couldn't overcome the old Gardner Minshew. You blamed it all on him. Well, somebody played defense too. I don't remember Gardner Minshew playing defense. So wait, Jalen's not on the field. You can't beat the Saints? Oh, you'll have a tough putt this year if that guy misses any games then. Won't be Marcus Mariota helping out. Yes, sir. Yeah. Everything I said about the Saints is in their grasp. They don't play anybody. They got a good defense, and they got some talented They got some talented players on offense. And they got a quarterback who has done things no quarterback in Eagle history has ever done. I know that kills, doesn't it? He played in the AFC. He's going to come into the NFC and do what Brady did. You know, when you're in the AFC, you got to play against good teams and good quarterbacks and good coaches. When you come to the NFC, you don't. It's the JV. He's taking a step down. It's like going from the SEC to Mountain West Conference. Andy Dalton beat the Eagles. Whew. Swallow that. Jalen owns the Saints. He did? Does? Oh, yeah, that's right. That first thing. Oh, yeah, he owns them. Dimes Jones has a win against him. Does he not? Dimes Jones. Daniel Jones has got a win against Jalen. How you doing? Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, man. You bet. I think the Saints, I think they're going to win top seed. I don't think they're going to do anything in the postseason, though. And hey, and for the record, I want to make sure I validate that with what I said about Andy Dalton, or excuse me, not Andy Dalton, but Derek Carr stats. So let me ask you guys this. You guys think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Derek Carr? You think Hurts is a better quarterback than Derek Carr? Be careful how you answer that. Sal goes, absolutely. Let's take a look at that. 3,270 in his first year, 21 touchdowns. Second year, 4,000 passing, 32 touchdowns, 13 picks. Third year, 39-37, 28 touchdowns, 6 picks. Fourth year, 34-96, 22 touchdowns, 13 picks. Year 5, 4,100 yards passing, 20 touchdowns. Seventh year, 4,100, 22 touchdowns. Ninth year, 4,900, 23 touchdowns. Last year, only played in 15 ball games, didn't play the final 3, would have had another 4,000. 35 touchdowns and 24 touchdowns. We'll see. And he played in the AFC. Sills, do I think that Hurts is better than anybody? I don't know yet. No. He's only played 1 year. Hey, watch this. Do I think Trevor Lawrence is better than anyone? No. Do I think that Justin Fields is better than it? No. Do I think Burrow is? Yes. Do I think Allen is? Yes, because he beats all those good ones. Do I think Lamar is? Yes. Because there's sample size. Yeah, no, I don't. No, I do not think that Jalen is better than a lot of guys in there. I think he's got a lot of talent. To sit there and for me to say 1 year that you're better than Aaron Rodgers is a joke. There's mountains of sample size with guys who have done it consistently year in and year out. Plus, it's a team sport. 1 year don't make you better. Like I said, Hurts is going to be this. 3,700 yards, 800, 750 rushing, 25 touchdowns. That's who he is. He's not going to do any more than that. Technically, Burrow and Hurts were in the same draft class, but he does have matchups to prove how good he is. Yeah, Joe Burrow beats Mahomes. Josh Allen beats these other guys too. Your guy doesn't beat any of them dudes. Well, he plays good. I know. Something though always comes up with the L versus them dudes. Like I said, 2023. No, I do not believe that. I think he's overhyped a bit. And the only reason I think Jalen Hurts is overhyped a bit is because he's got such a small sample size. It's not a rip. It's actual fact. You want to call a guy an elite ball player. Hey, look, I argue with this, and you guys are right. Can you call Sauce Gardner the best shutdown corner in the league? I don't think he can. I don't think he can. I think he's really good. But do I think that guy's an elite corner? He's got all the makings. I think Sauce Gardner and Jalen Hurts are a lot alike. You keep doing it over a period of time, you are going to have that said about you. That you're in that conversation with more sample size. Like, I can't sit here and go, so surely you think Sauce Gardner's the best lockdown corner in the league. I go, off of 1 year? No way. No way. Who'd you play? What were they trying to do in ball games? One season does not crown you in any sport, but only in Philly. You tried crowning a guy too soon, and you got egg on your face. Does this look different? Yes. You see, all the things I'm saying are true. It's 1 year. I don't crown people like that. Now, look, when I look at Josh Allen or Justin Herbert, they throw the ball better. They're better passers of what the game is today. They look like today's game. I'll tell you this. The running quarterback is elbowing his way into the league now, though. Like Bruce Arians said, I happen to agree with that. The league sort of crowned Sauce Gardner All-Pro as a rookie and Defensive Rookie of the Year. But I would say this to you, Tone. Don't you want to see him put up Stephon Gilmore and Darrelle Revis kind of years before we start going, guy's the best player at his position in the league, and he was a rookie last year? I think Jalen's in the same conversation with that. Come on, man. Let's see these great matchups. I'll tell you something, and I'll give you this. I'll give you this. I'll ask again, elite. What QB is elite besides Holmes? Does it matter? Does Hurts need to be considered elite to be a winner? No, I think he's got to do it longer. I think you can make an assessment on who you think is an elite player at his position with sample sizes and what the guy's career looks like. I think you need 3 years before you can really make an assessment on if that in 3 years, Jalen Hurts has not put up an elite career. Do you really think, how about this? Let me ask you this. You think Jalen Hurts is 3 years, he's put an elite career up? I certainly do not. That's why I'm always confused when we're talking about who's the best. We are talking careers or the previous season. Now, that's a different conversation, Tone. Who's coming off a great year? Jalen Hurts. Who's the better players at their positions right now? Well, he ain't one. How could he be? Here's the guys who have been the best over the last, let's go 3 years. Burrow, Mahomes, Rodgers, I don't know if I could put Dak in there. I don't think so. Here. That's a good question. Over the last 3 years, who are the best quarterbacks in the NFL the last 3 years? Hurts ain't one of them. And that's usually what you need when you come to an evaluating a player. Mahomes for sure. Burrow. Rodgers. I don't know. Would you put Lamar Jackson in there? Missed too much time. I'm not going to give a guy like Lamar Jackson and tell me that he's been one of the elite ball players over the last 4 years, 3 years, when you're missing multiple games. Not doing that. Rodgers, Burrow, Mahomes. The kid Allen's won a ton of games. And he looks good every year. You know what's funny about him? Jalen's getting better, and he won how many games last year? 14? You guys ripped him a new one, and he won 13, and they had that game with Cincinnati called, and they still were 13-3. You imagine when he straightens it out? Okay? Burrow's played 2 full seasons, but okay. Jalen Hurts has played 2 full seasons too, but okay. Joe goes like this, your evaluation is right on, but Hurts will be exciting to watch, especially since he's not 100% with a sore throwing arm. Well, Joe, that's part of the process when you're a dual threat quarterback, though, like that. Okay? Hey, Tone, did I miss 5573 super chat? If I did, I apologize. Or Coon, if I missed your super chat for $10, I apologize if I did. Herbert blew a 27-point lead. Stop talking about him. Justin Herbert throws the ball better than your guy, and he's more in tune with today's NFL. Don't kid yourself. Eagles win 12 games. He'll be one of the best quarterbacks. Don't think it won't happen unless we pick up players on defense. Philly, he wins 12 games this year. It is totally going to change the narrative on him. If he wins 11 games and they play in the NFC title game this year, I will totally, without a doubt, tell you that, hey, now we're looking at consecutive years of great ball. Don't you want to see that yourselves? Didn't you guys get burned before? Hey, Jalen Hurts can be a good guy and have a bad year. What are you going to do then? Oh, shucks. I wouldn't get too tied into good guy stuff. See, that's the thing. Why is Burrow in there? He's gone to 2 AFC title games in a row. I don't know. He's never looked bad on an NFL field. Your guy didn't look hot in his first year starting. I don't ever remember Joe Burrow going, man, he don't look like it. Your GM a year ago was saying that about your guy. Isn't that funny? 12 months ago, your general manager was saying the same thing about Jalen Hurts. But somehow magically, because he had one good season, you guys are now in a conversation where you think he's Joe Burrow and he throws the ball like the rest of those guys in the NFL. The Eagles just caught up with the NFL offensively. Do you know that? Your franchise has been behind the NFL and the rule changes for 35 years. 35 years. You're just catching up. If Hurts continues to have more success than Herbert, you still won't say he's better at the job than Herbert, will you, Sills? Look, if he consistently is putting his team in the NFC title game, what he's going to do, Tone, is do the same exact thing that Tom Brady did. No one ever considered Tom Brady the best quarterback when they had Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. There was always a debate. But at the end of the career, everyone looked up and said, shit, Brady's been the most consistent star at the quarterback position. Yeah, that's what they – Tone, he's going down the Brady lane. But he's only done it 1 year. Nobody ever thought that Tom Brady was better than Peyton Manning at the beginning. Nobody did. Nobody would draft Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers in ability. Nobody would. But you look up and you do this on Brady. Shit. He's been the most. Here's exactly the evaluation on Brady. Smartest player, best decision maker at the position in NFL history, and did it over a period of time like no other. No one ever will say the strongest arm, the best touch, the deepest passing arm. You don't put those superlatives on him. You never do. What did you do at the end with Brady? Well, no one's ever done it longer at that level. Brady's never considered the better quarterback until the end when they went, shit, he was. That's what they'll do with Hurts. No one's going to. Hoss, I showed everybody the last 3 weeks how the league looks at Jalen. They don't even look at him that way. Only people in Philly do. Nobody looks at him like that. There's not a person on the planet who looks at Jalen Hurts and goes, he's better than Justin Herbert, except the people in Philly. And his contract's going to dictate that. Or it did, excuse me. That's why he got more money. That's why he got more money. So what? You think the Chargers, who are cheap as it is, gave a guy more money because they think Jalen Hurts is better? Oh, that's right. He's the next guy up kind of thing. Jalen Hurts is not trash. You just got to do it longer. So Herbert gets excused for blowing a 27-point lead in the playoffs. Bear from Philly, for us to have any chance at 12 games or better, Howie has to get on his horse, just being realistic. Bear, I would say this. You mean defensively, right? Because your offense is going to be good. Okay? What crowns you quarterback that looks good throwing the ball and loses? I'm not sure what you're saying. And loses? You have to understand something. If the Bills or the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Jags played in the NFC, they would all be 16-1. They play against here. Hurts comparison aside, you got to be real, Sills. The league is giving Herbert an off-ramp for that playoff blunder. Okay, it's got to fall on the quarterback. It does. I think it falls on that defensive-minded coach, too. I think it falls on that organization. No one ever accused the Chargers of winning a ton of games. They got to the Super Bowl with Stam Humphries. And they had Dan Fouts and Phillip Rivers on that organization. It's the most underachieving organization in the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs schedule. And I'm going to take a time out here in a second. Look at who these people have to play on a weekly basis. Okay. They have to open with the Jags. Okay? Excuse me. They open with the Lions. Playoff team, I think. Then they play the Jags. Then they get the Bears. Okay? Then they play the Jets. Then they play the Vikings. Then they play the Broncos. Then they play the Chargers. Then they play the Broncos. Then they play the Eagles. Then they play the Raiders. Then they play the Packers. Then they play the Bills. Then they play the Patriots. Then they play the Bengals. Then they play the Chargers. There's not an off week here except for a few Bear games or a Bear game. And that team's going to win 13 games this year. That's why when you win with schedules like that, that's what we're talking about. Not beating Davis Mills. Davis Mills. Is that his name? I forget. Or Kenny Pickett. Is his name Kenny Pickett or Wilson Pickett? What's the quarterback in Pittsburgh's name? Wilson Pickett? Is that his name? I forget. Holy cow. Hey, guys, very excited with our relationship with Hooters King of Prussia. 35-year relationship that we have with this place. And it goes all the way back to my days with the Buccaneers and all the way back to when they first opened up the first shop in Clearwater, Florida. And Ed Drotsky and Bob Passwater and Denise Williams all got one place going. And now the name Hooters is just legendary. And it's now the official home of the National Football Show with Big Sills and we're going to be doing a ton of things. We can't wait to get to King of Prussia and have you guys come and pour yourselves a cold one there. Again, your preseason draft parties, your fantasy draft parties, this is where you go. Also, preseason football, this is the home also of all Eagle fans. You guys are going to get yourself an opportunity to have a great time during Eagle season. It's for the fans, home of the Eagle fans. Again, host your draft parties. Make sure you call, though. Daily specials on Tuesday, buy 10 wings, get 10 boneless wings. Also, Wing Wednesdays. This is a 40-year tradition, too. All you can eat for $19.83. Kids eat free constantly on Saturdays. What can I tell you? The happy hours each and every single day starting at noon. 6 items for $6. 6 boneless wings with maybe your favorite brew like Miller Lite, Tall Drafts, what have you. It's a great time for all. Don't forget, call them and get on down there at 240 North Gulf Road in King of Prussia. And do me a favor, tell them Big Sil sent you.